Hello, welcome back. This is episode number 2 of the podcast, and I'm your host, Fruit Snack. Right now, we do have 2 cameras rolling. Hopefully, this works out pretty well, and hopefully, I do not breathe into the mic as I did the first time, learning experience. But I might sound a little congested. I've had a running nose yesterday and I've been sneezing a lot since yesterday. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see that I have my turtle and the other camera just staring at me. But besides that, we do have many platforms where this podcast can be on. My turtle just fell in. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I just want to say before I get started on the platforms, thank you for coming back. If you are here for the first time, welcome, and let's be happy. So, I just wanted to say thank you for coming back and enjoying the first content, because the last video was very interesting. I just posted it and got disliked right away, and then I went back to see the update. Then 2 subscribers have left the building, and then I looked again and I got a subscriber back, and then I looked again and I got 3 likes, and honestly the overall result was amazing, and it was a fun roller coaster to be on. So I thank you for kind of giving some feedback. Now I want to say that we are on many platforms, and the thing is, you can either listen to this as only audio on Spotify, so I'll leave a link down below if you want to listen to it there again, or only there if you haven't checked it out yet. Yeah, so basically we're posting on Spotify now, just the audio, and on YouTube it will still be video and audio. And you might be missing some visual things, but honestly, I don't think you're missing much if you choose to listen on audio. I was convinced to put it on Spotify by one of my film friends that I had in a college I used to go to, and they said that it would be better for when people are on the road. And since I live in a small town and the biggest city near us is like 30 minutes away, I'm like, hey, you can listen to it on the drive to your school if you go to the main city or something. But yeah, I think that was a pretty good idea too, because if you have Spotify, you can download the podcast and listen to it if you're in the mountains or backpacking or hiking. Just say it. Just say you love my voice. So I have this laptop here in front of me, and it has like a bullet points of what to talk about, so I won't forget. And one of the things I would want to say is that Kiki wanted me to write a script because I told her that it was like so hard to be focused and stuff. And it's just like, I have all this information, I just want to give it out, but I don't care what order, or like I get distracted easily. And she's like, you should just write a whole script of what to say exactly. And I was like, I think that defeats the purpose of me just thinking and giving idea. I don't know, I just think that's just defeats the purpose of being authentic, if I can speak correctly. Besides that, we should do an update. Speaking of Kiki, how we talked about Kiki shouldn't be asking for a sugar daddy all over Twitter and stuff. Well, the thing is, I talked to her, and she said that she's just saying it just to mess around, pull her strings, like if we were the puppets and she's the master. But no, she doesn't really mean it, she says. But she says, you never know. Sometimes rumors can be true, and sometimes they're just rumors, so you can never really understand or really underestimate somebody for doing what they gotta do or something. I might cut that part out. I cut some things out because sometimes it just doesn't fall into place correctly as I wanted it to, because I think it's kind of hard, because I'm trying to focus on what to say, but then I end up saying the wrong words, or I slur or something. So this podcast isn't live. Like, it's not just raw footage, it's edited because I feel like it needs to have a smooth transition in a way, if it can possibly. Hopefully my camera doesn't end up, turning off on me again, and hopefully the other camera gets a good shot of my turtle swimming around the tank and just staring at me. I sat right next to my turtle and it was just looking at me, and I was like, what? I have to do this once a week. It's still looking at me. I love my turtle so much. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I did those 2 months without it. But besides that, I just wanted to say that I might get back into shape. I feel like this is the reason I'm sneezing, woke up with my throat dry, and getting like a watery nose is just basically the universe or something higher than me telling me, hey, you need to eat healthier. You need to exercise like you used to when you were 5 years old. You need to go back into that lifestyle, because this one's just gonna drag you down and you ain't gonna do good in the rest of your life. Because I'm in a backpacking class, and one of my classmates, his name's Ian, and I said to him, I was like, hey, it looks like you always come back and you just ran like 7 miles or something. And he says that he does a track workout and that I'm welcome to join. And I was just like, I should, but his workout's gonna kill me. But I should get back into running and getting back into shape, because I am in the backpacking class and we're gonna be like hiking for the longest time ever, like over 8 miles. So I'm pretty sure that I need to stop eating a lot of chips, because chips are I'm addicted. I admit it. I admit that I am addicted to chips, and I'm gonna try to stop eating them. But I just love them. And I've been eating chocolates, and it's like good, and I like little snacks. I like snacking throughout the day. But it's not good for my overall health, especially since I got a party pack because I couldn't find a medium-sized bag. So I have all these chocolates and I'm just eating them, and and it's not going well for me. As you can tell, I'm like sniffling, and I'm sorry if I end up having some boogers drip down my nose. Just know that I am committed to posting on time and doing this, because this is actually really fun for me. I do enjoy talking, and I am talking to myself technically. If you're listening, hello, what's your name? Leave a comment if you're on YouTube, and if you're on Spotify, share my voice with other people. So besides that, going back to Ian, he also said that he does going back to him in class, I told him about my podcast. I told almost every person that's in my major about my podcast. He asked me, oh, what do you talk about? And I just say, I talk about a lot of things, mainly myself, because I'm a narcissist. Not really, but I feel like I'm an interesting topic and I deserve to be talked about. Kind of, not really. But I was just like, mainly things that pop up, and like I like to talk about things that people should be aware of and things that are interesting to me. But if you want me to talk about something, then let's talk about it. Like, for example, the Amazon burning. I've recently heard about that, and like it's kind of upsetting that the person in charge of that place is not caring as much, as you can say, because they're blaming other people for making it seem like it's a bad thing. Oh, you're just attacking my government, they said. It's very sad, because I am in the forestry program and I love nature, and our jobs are basically to help preserve and maintain a great and healthy forest, and it's just like people like that just ruin it. And it's like why are you doing that? And it's mainly people that are in the 30s and above, people that don't really care about anything but themselves, and it's upsetting because I can give you an example. There was this guy. He came to our ranger station, and it was closed on the weekend, and I worked weekends, so he was there with some lady that was holding her dog, and I walked in because I had to go across the office, and in the middle of the whole building is the visitor center, but I had to walk across that to put away a receipt for the dump that I had. That because I went to the dump, I went to the dump to dump the trash, and I had the receipt for it, and I had to put it in a box across the office. And I saw them, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm just like hallucinating. I don't know. Like, I was just like confused by it at first, and I walked by, and I like I was like a little sneaker, and I like took some pictures. And when the lady came up to me and said, "Oh, do you have pictures of the campgrounds?" And I was like, "No, I don't, but I don't think you guys should be in here." She takes the dog and leaves. And then the guy was gonna leave. Then he turns around. He says, "I'm a high school teacher. I pay my taxes. I pay for this for you guys to do whatever you do." And like, he basically was saying that he's entitled to be there, that the door was open. And I'm like, okay, but I don't think you're supposed to be here. And he's like, "I don't appreciate you kicking me out." I'm like, I'm just saying I don't think you guys should be here, and you're willingly walking out of the door. And it was so odd to me. And I deal with angry people all the time when I ref soccer, so I was just like, dude, just be quiet. Like, it's so odd to me how he was like, "I'm entitled to this and that." And there's a few people out there and like going to the forest, visiting the forest, and feeling like they're entitled to it. And it's like, yeah, the forest belongs to the public, but you gotta follow the rules, because if you don't, you're just endangering the species, let's say like a tree or some shrubs, and you're not letting us do our job, and that's really upsetting. And like, it's not like we're in the Department of Defense. No, we're in the Department of Agriculture. We're trying to save the planet. We're trying to preserve things and stuff. And like, it just baffles me of how like they can just be like, "No, I can do this. I pay for this. I pay my taxes." It's like, yeah, okay, you kind of have to pay your taxes if you live in the US, but it's so interesting. That wasn't really a topic I was going to talk about. See how I get distracted. But it's just like, in class, I have like all these like, "Oh wow, oh this, oh that." And it's like, I could talk about class too. I'm taking a psychology class, for example, and I'm not a psychology major, but I had to take it for my general education requirements. And it's an interesting class, and I enjoy thinking about the bigger picture instead of myself, even though people think about everything revolving around them. For example, you can say like abortion. People hate the subject. They'd rather ignore it, not talk about it. But I talk about it with my friend's mom, and like, we all understand our views. Like, I don't think it's the right thing to do. Personally, I'm against it. Like, my friend, she says she's against it because it's against her religion. But the thing is, it's not you. You don't matter in that situation, because it's not you that's in that situation of saying, "Oh, I need an abortion," or "Oh, do I need an abortion?" The thing is, people want to make it about themselves when it's not. And as my friend said, she said that even though it's against her religion and she doesn't like it at all, she can't control other people. And I totally agree with it, because it's them, it's their decision. Why should you put your views above others and make them not be able to do something just because you don't like it or you believe it's wrong? And it's interesting because a lot of people like to put their religion into it and make it about religion when it's not really about them or their religion. For example, a 12-year-old can get raped and get pregnant by the rapist, and then if there's a law, there is in certain states probably by now, saying that you cannot do abortion at all, then that child has to have a child. And that's really, really not necessary in this world, especially since we do know how to practice abortion safely without killing the person that is carrying the fetus. And the thing is, there is cultures where abortion, if it's like not a boy, they can get an abortion and try again. And that's kind of upsetting for me because women are power. And I was thinking about this, and this is like totally off what I was wanting to talk about, but it's fine. It's okay. We gotta talk about stuff like this, and if you hate me for it, then you hate me for it. But let's talk about it. Even though my views don't match your views, doesn't mean we can't talk about it and have a great discussion. Like, I want to know why you think the way you think, and you might want to just make me think the way you think. But the thing is, it's kind of crazy because I believe women are power, and like, I've learned a lot in psychology about it, and it's like there's more men in the world than women, and people in the past that lived and people that have their same culture still and go by it would like men over women because men can like pass down the family name, and people like, well, some families like to have their name go on and on so their family legacy can continue. And the thing is, why don't we just change it to women having their name passed on, their last name passed on for their family, since they're the ones actually producing the children instead of the men. The men just donate their semen, and the women go through the hard labor. So why don't we just change it? I mean, we don't have to. I mean, I understand people love their traditions, but I mean, that's a thing I would like to know if it's possible. Like, it's interesting to think about, I think, because there's a lot of people that aren't straight, and oh, my little thing's heating up, I think, but there's a lot of people that aren't straight, and it's like, who wants to pass down their family legacy of their last name continuing? It's kind of interesting. I thought we just learned that in class earlier today. And it was weird because I was paying attention, but I was so tired because because today's Friday. I know I'm not doing great with myself. I've only had time today to film, but that's besides the point. Today's Friday, so yesterday, Thursday, in my class, our instructor worked us to the bone. He legit, like, had us outside the whole day. Well, not really the whole day, but the whole class period, which was from 12 to like 4:50, and we were climbing trees, so that was pretty cool. You're gonna see that video clip on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. But we were doing that, and we had to clean out the one of the shops. I forgot what it's called. I'm totally blanking, but we had to take all the wood out, and they're gonna take it somewhere else and stuff. And we were doing that for the rest of our lab, and it was fun. It's better than staying in the classroom and lectured being lectured about stuff. But it was so tiring. So when I woke up this morning, I was like, I couldn't breathe a little, and then like my throat was dry, and I was so dead, and I was like, I have an 8 o'clock class of psychology. I don't know if I will live through it, but I did it. I learned too. And that's the thing with me. I like learning new things because people, when I grew up, always said I was dumb. And I know I'm not. And I'm just trying to prove to them that I can get a degree and stuff and actually be smart. And I know people tell me all the time in school, like, oh, you're so smart. One of my past soccer teammates says, wow, you're so smart. And my coach said, he's like, I think you're very intelligent, but you just don't really like to you just settle for like a C. And I said, yeah, basically. Like, if I'm passing, why do I need to go over advance if I know what what I learned, if I know what I learned. And bad habit, trying to get only A's and B's. But I know I'm smart. And the thing is, I don't speak correctly. Sometimes I misspell things, and it's like I can't read. Also, I don't know why, but I know I am intelligent, and even though I don't speak well, my family likes to make fun of it. They like to be like, I'm like, I laugh too, but because like it is pretty funny. But it's like I don't know if they think I'm actually dumb, but I don't know. I just still want to prove that I'm smart for some reason, and I am wanting a job where I can show what I've learned in school. And that the reason I came to that conclusion is because I did a job where I just mainly did maintenance at campgrounds, and I didn't really use any of my knowledge. And when someone asked me, "Oh, what kind of tree is that?" I'm like, "That looks like a let me see." And then like they're like, "I know it's a pine for sure, but it has red bark." And I'm like, "I'm pretty sure that's a ponderosa pine." And I looked it up just to make sure, because I'm not 100 like confident. I'm not 100%. I'm not really confident in my tree identification or anything actually. And that's why I'm always like, oh, I hope so. I hope I'm right. I asked my classmates, "Oh, am I right?" But yeah, it's a very interesting thing about me. But I want to talk about the Popeye's chicken sandwich, because it's already about 20 minutes in, and I don't even think I'm almost done with the list. But it's okay. You know, we're doing this for the long run, so every episode is going to be different. But do I know how to title things? No. Do I know how to make people hooked on things? No. But that's okay. It's still a learning process, and I'm willing to wait. Sometimes I can't be patient though, and it depends on what. But yeah, so Popeye's chicken sandwich, it's blowing up all over the place, all over Twitter. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the business. Everybody wants to eat one, and I've seen like a lot of places where it's like sold out and stuff. And I really want to try one, and it looks really good, honestly. And I've never been to Popeyes. I think my cousin likes it a lot. I've never been there, and I want that to be the first thing I try. And I was supposed to go today, but you know, I don't want to try something if I can't really smell that well, because then I feel like that just defeats the whole like experience. Maybe. I love how my turtle's just near me the whole time. Like it's like on the tank side of me, if that makes sense. Like it's the side of the tank that's closer to me. So yeah, I really want to try it. Like everyone's making it look delicious, and I've seen videos where customers are getting angry at the employees for like not having it or something, and it's like, calm down. Like they are doing their best. Like everyone who works is doing their best, and I just don't like when people come in and feel like they're entitled to something. Like that customer feels like they're entitled to a chicken sandwich, and hey, come back when we have more or something. Like, just be patient with them, because they're working maybe 8-12 hours a day, and it's like they are very well kind and stuff, and you're just ruining their day by making them feel like crap when they're trying their best. They're doing their best, and it's upsetting. But you know, you can't change everybody. People are meant to be who they are, and if that's the bad side of them, then we gotta just deal with him. And I remember a slogan. I just remember a slogan from one of my partners up there at my job that I had. She said that without slobs, we won't have jobs. And I was like, that's a good way to look at it, but still, I hate this. I love the job, honestly, but I just, in the moment when it's really hot, there's so much trash and people just watch you, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I had 2 breakdowns that I know for sure. I think I'll incur twice, but I don't know. It's a good job. I love that I got to experience it. I love that I got my foot in the door and know that I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. But let's move on to the questions, because we're already in a lot. We're in 20, I think it says 25, but of course you're not gonna see it at 25 because I'm editing it so I can sound like I'm perfect. Or so it can make sense, and so like I'm not repeating myself over and over again, because I hate when people repeat themselves, and I don't like repeating myself. But then I end up doing it unintentionally, so it's like, oh, I might cut this out, and I might not. You never know. But let's go into the questions. I like to answer questions towards the end of the podcast. So if you have a question, just leave it in the comments if you're on YouTube. DM me on Twitter if you can. My username's fruitsnackaz, all one word. So let's start with these questions. Why do I make videos, or why do I have a YouTube channel, which they connect together? So the reason why I make YouTube videos, I've always been interested in creating something, you know. I had Legos when I was younger. I'm not saying that everybody that had Legos are gonna like be so creative, but that like to be creative, or like to make things, or whatever. I had Legos when I was younger, and I always watched YouTube when it came out, and I would be on the computer. I'll be playing those computer games, you know what I'm talking about. If you were born young, if you were born in the 90s. But I always wanted to make something as a video, and I never got the chance to. I always had Legos. I pretend that I was making a video with them and stuff. But I came to the point where I had a phone, and I recorded some really, really cool videos that I still think they're pretty cool. But I even made a video of the Legos. Like, I made a little show, and if I can find the footage, I might upload it one day. I have a lot of videos when I was young, me looking like a cringe. But I did it because I liked to create. Now, the reason I do it now is because it's like, as I say, it's like a documentary of my life. So it's like, if I get older and I forget who I am or what I've done in my past, then I can look back and be like, damn, that's who I was. I was that cool, or I was that cringe. You never know, because you think you're so cool in the moment, but then later on in life you're like, damn, I'm so cringy. But I do it because it keeps me busy. It keeps me, I guess you can say, sane in a way, because it's not crazy to talk to yourself in the camera. But I enjoy it a lot, and I wish I can do it full time, but I can't. It's like a hobby for me, so it's just, I forget a lot of things. As I was told, I'm forgetful, but I don't intentionally do it. But it's very, very interesting to me of how people can create so many crazy things and enjoy it. And like, I watched Shane Dawson when I was little. I watched Smosh, and I still do. And I just loved how the way they can make edits crazy and cool. And I don't really do that because I'm not that cool, I guess. Well, I am cool. I don't know what you're talking about, Lou. I am cool. Yeah, so basically I think that's how I look at myself when I make videos. I don't do it to make money. I also get that question too before I go over a lot of time. I get a question like, oh, do you make money? Is that why you do it? And I'm like, no, technically if I wanted to make money, or if I would get paid on YouTube, I would have to have 1,000 subscribers. And that's my goal, to just have 1,000 subscribers, because I think that'd be pretty cool. A lot of people like me, and that makes me feel better about myself. That'd be cool, because then I can like do better content, as in like spend a lot of money on a video and make it back. See, the thing is, I don't like spending money at all unless I know I'm going to get money made in the process. And the thing is, I do this for fun. And I've been doing it since I was in 6th grade, and I've been more constant with it since I was a junior in high school, and I enjoy it. So if I don't get 1,000 subscribers, then that's fine. I'd rather have 1,000 loyal people than 1,000 fake people, and it's just me. I just do it because I just like looking at myself. I actually do enjoy every video I make. I watch it through, make sure it's really good, and I'm like, I enjoy watching it, so maybe somebody else will too. Maybe multiple people will. Never know. But yeah, since my camera just it did the little overheat thing, so I'm also over 30 minutes, so that's probably another thing that I should take in consideration of ending this podcast for today. I'm getting better at this. I'm pretty sure I am. I have a list and I'm trying to stick with it. But I just do like talking about other things too. I'm a very talkative person, and that's just how I've always been. I've always tried to like just listen. I'm also a great listener, I'm told. I'm not saying I am. I'm just told that too. I like to listen and then like engage in the conversation when I can. And I'm also told I'm funny, which maybe I made you laugh. I don't know. I feel like it can be more funny when there's somebody around, because then they can, I don't know, honestly. But thank you for listening. Maybe it will come back again, or maybe it will come back or maybe not. But if you do, I'll be here talking about something new. But until then, enjoy life, and thank you for listening. Honestly, I just like in talking, and I just hope there's at least 4 people out there that enjoy my talking. And maybe I'll talk about something that makes you angry, maybe make you happy, but either way, let's just have a conversation. I'm special, as Zoe said, and I take that as a compliment. So yeah, and just thank you for listening, and until next time, enjoy life.